Way back in 1973, there's a look at Highmark Stadium just outside of Buffalo, New York.
Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills.
Taken in at the 3. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21.
Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. Then the Dolphins getting set to go here.
First play, Bridgewater looking to throw.
That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short.
Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
First carry for Raheem Mostert.
And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
But just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1.
They'll try and run here with Mostert. And he'll have a Dolphins first down as he's got this up to the 35-yard line.
Faced with their first 3rd down conversion opportunity and able to punch it through and pick it up on the ground.
And to me, doing it on the ground sends a different type of a message than throwing the football. And, you know, let's face it, we've done a lot of games together. How often have we seen 3rd down turn into an automatic passing down no matter what the yardage?
Yeah, and last thing you want, that opening drive to go 3 and out. You got everything scripted, lined up. Let's get some points on the board, and they're able to avoid that 3 and out. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
They'll try to throw here now. Bridgewater got a man complete to Cedric Wilson. And that'll get them the first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Off the play fake, Bridgewater. And they take him down. The Bills get to him.
That's Gregory Rousseau getting in there to bring him down.
Chalk that one up to bad acting, I guess, because they certainly failed to sell the handoff, and the pressure stayed keyed in on the quarterback. No Oscar awards for this offense, just a loss of yardage.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Here's Bridgewater. Got a man here, it's Wilson.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice sustained series to begin the game, and it will continue after picking up another first there.
Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game, controlling the clock.
On 1st and 10, Bridgewater.
Going right back to Wilson.
And they'll be stopped right at the 30. On a play that started back at the 15, they pick up 15.
Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it.
And it goes down. Gregory Rousseau, his second sack of the night.
Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Another try after the first down sack. Bridgewater. And his throw is incomplete.
They are such a talented team at defending the perimeter and taking away throws to the outside. Great confidence, great skill.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. To throw is Bridgewater. Eluding the pressure right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a fourth down situation.
Like any team playing, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get them a little closer at least if they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
And that is no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. That opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
They try the 50-yarder and miss it, and now this offense has it 1st and 10 at the 40. Singletary to get the drive started. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Here's a throw out line complete to his running back right side. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield. But as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up a first down.
Allen's throw going to be caught by McKenzie. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And meanwhile, Allen's throw here taken in by Knox. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. Going right back to Knox, and again a completion. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go that sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far. Well drilled. Well,
nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. That time, Bradley Chubb shooting in there for the sack.
All about the offense so far this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. Second and manageable became 3rd and long. The drive marching to the end zone is one play from stalling out.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So on 4th down, out is Tyler Bass in the Buffalo field goal unit.
From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt.
The kick by Bass is good. And the Bills will take a 3-0 lead. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
It's showtime, baby. Get him going, baby.
So after knocking through the field goal, here's Bass to kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
So Miami coming out for their second drive. And they were in field goal range the last time out but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. Well, starting drive number 2 off on the right foot. Completion for the first down. Drive 1 that had to be pretty frustrating because they moved the football. They just didn't get any points out of it.
But warm-up QB2, let's bring in the backup. I mean, my goodness, you take them downfield and you don't score points. You know I'm being totally facetious here, right? I'm just kidding. Nice first drive. Rarely do teams score on every single drive in a game. But they like what they did there. They just hope they can pay it off this time with some points.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the second quarter, as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation.
Throwing, Bridgewater.
That's going to be caught by Waddle. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up, and make those throws, and he did that.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Throwing on 2nd and 8, Bridgewater. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle, 58 yards. And the Dolphins have taken the lead.
And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
What's the deal, y'all? Let's do our thing. Let's do our thing. Let's do this, man.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Fields it right around the goal line. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So here come the Bills out for their second drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Here's Allen. And bringing it in, it's Davis. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. That one covers 29 yards, first down. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Throwing on first down is Allen. The throw on target to his receiver, McKenzie. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line.
And time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
Again, they'll throw with Allen. Working the middle here, that's complete to Knox, the tight end. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Working with 2nd and 5 now. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Throwing now is Allen. He will find Diggs in the end zone. Touchdown, Buffalo. It's a 6-yard touchdown pass, and the Bills have regained the lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead is now 10-7. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. Miami set to take over.
And they had to go the length of the field last time out to get into the end zone. And with this starting field position, they're going to have to pretty much do it again.
And I think the thought process going into it is, hey, if you have to be methodical, go ahead and do that. But what you really want are a couple of big plays. Eat up chunks of yardage and cut down the number of times you have to snap the football.
They'll start on the ground with Mostert.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
To throw, Bridgewater.
Caught, it's Wilson. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Up the middle they go with Mostert.
And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Bridgewater on 1st down. Flush to his right.
This will be caught. It's Waddle.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
First down, Bridgewater.
Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Bridgewater's throw is taken in by Waddle. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
From the gun, Bridgewater.
He's going to drop this underneath to Mostert.
Now another timeout called for by the offense as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Second and 2, first down marker at the 5-yard line.
Bridgewater.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. To the air again with Bridgewater. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
They'll try it now with Mostert.
And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4.
Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. They were certainly in field goal range, opted to go for it. Hey, they were able to pick it up.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, but look at it this way. The kicker had missed one before, so they decided to stay out and go for it, and it worked.
And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better, and I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and the lead is now 14-10. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
Takes it at the 7. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Bills offense now for one final time in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down.
Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
The Bills offense now for one final time in this first half as they go to work with 12 seconds on the clock. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. To the air, Allen. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's McKenzie. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Allen. He finds his man, complete. It's McKenzie. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. A final shot before half for Allen. Escaping the pressure right. Going deep for Diggs. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Taken in at the 3. The Bills offense set to take over to begin quarter number 3. But, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
Works right side into the hands of the tight end, Knox.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
2nd and 5. Allen going to throw. That'll be complete to Cook. A 5-yard pass on first down and another 5-yard connection there.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
On play action, Allen. Man open downfield is Diggs. He's got it.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 23 yards, the final tally.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 41.
They'll run on first down with Singletary.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Allen's throw going to be caught by McKenzie.
And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 29-yard line. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. On play action, Allen. They'll roll him out right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Singletary. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Here's Allen to throw it. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31.
Buried behind the line by Christian Wilkins.
And we all know how talented this guy is who's calling the signals for him. But even the best in the game, they can struggle against a good, cohesive zone coverage. Can't find a gap in the secondary quick enough, and he ends up taking a sack.
The kick by Bass is good. And the lead is down to 1 now, 14-13. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
Let's rock and roll. Stay loose. Stay loose. Let's go do this. Let's get it done. A little aggressive, baby. We got points. Oh, let's turn it up.
So after knocking through the field goal, here's Bass to kick it away.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. On play action, it's Bridgewater. He'll buy some time right, and he'll just get rid of it.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25.
A run with Mostert up the middle.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater.
Got a man, it's Waddle, complete.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. Give him 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep with the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play.
Now, quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert, but right now looking at a 3rd and 3. And he fires one that's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. 30. 10. And he is going to score. It's a pick 6 and a Bills touchdown.
So this whole game gets flipped on its ear right there. The interception, return for a touchdown, and this lead changes hands here in the 3rd quarter.
And it certainly felt like this defense had a read on what was going on the offensive side of the ball and said, let's cut down our coverage a little bit. Let's be in a position to make a play on the ball. And, boy, that sure turned out well for them.
And that is caught for the 2 points. And there's a quick momentum swing. INT return for a pick 6, and then the 2-point conversion good.
And even if you're keeping your wits about you, you're thinking to yourself, okay, extra point block team going into the game now. All of a sudden you're hearing defense. Everyone's scrambling for their helmets and throwing down their cups of water. That's a great position for them to be in, trying to score against that team. A little bit disjointed.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Taken at the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Miami's offense set and ready to go. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, yeah, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
It was Shaq Lawson there. He'll get credit for the tackle for loss.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Now on 2nd and 13. Bridgewater. Open man is Waddle, complete. An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Here's Thomas Morstead now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 37. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
Allen looks to throw on 2nd down. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender. But you also have to give your own guy a chance, too.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And it's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Here's Hill on the return. And just a net of 31 here. 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here. A little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
2nd down, here's Mostert again. And he'll get this to about the 34, a gain of just 3.
As they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter.
You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
The Dolphins on third down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Dolphins.
Jalen Waddle,
His second touchdown of the night.
and the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th.
The receivers have been running them ragged, maybe some tired legs in the secondary, maybe some tired legs in the pass rush. Didn't get to him, and look what resulted. A touchdown, tie game. They've got a chance to take the lead.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this 4th quarter. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away.
Taking it about the 1.
Isaiah McKenzie now on the return. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back on the field.
Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Throwing to start the drive. Allen,
He'll air this one out deep for Davis.
and that is incomplete.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now Allen. Caught right side, Davis. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st.
Allen going to try and throw on 3rd down. And Diggs has it.
And he is going to have a Bills 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
A play fake to Singletary, and now it's Allen. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch and turn upfield and pick up the 1st down.
Here's Sam Martin now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. So with A change of possession here on the punt. And the Dolphins drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10.
On the ground, it's Mostert to start the drive.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed 1st down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the 1st, you can get a little aggressive here on 2nd down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They'll stay on the ground with Mostert.
And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line.
A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
A 1st down throw for Bridgewater.
And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A very solid gain of 27. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
On 1st and 10, Bridgewater steps away to his left.
And he wisely will throw that one away.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Out of the gun, Bridgewater.
He'll get this into the hands of Mostert. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And everybody thinking about the possible field goal on 4th. It would be 58 yards from here. That's going to be caught by Waddle. And he's got a 1st down as a tackle made at the Bills' 28. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Another 1st down as they call his number again. He's got 15 yards here. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. 41 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
2nd and 3 with the ball sitting on the 5. Bridgewater now. And it's caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Mostert trying to get to the goal line, but he's going to be stopped just short at the 1.
Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Good work there, holding them out on 1st down. And this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
One more time with Mostert.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
And now 3rd and goal coming up, the loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
They'll run with Mostert.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. So a big one coming now for Jason Sanders. This for the lead in the final stages. Sanders' kick is good, and they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Let's go, baby. We got to get it done as a group. Let's go. Rock and roll, baby. Let's just do our thing. Let's do our thing. That's all about, though. And gotta have it, baby. You gotta have it. Let's have some fun. Let's get something going now. It's one thing. Let's go, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away.
Fields it right around the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Allen and the Bills now. Down 24-21. A minute 25 to play. They need at minimum 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Allen. Into the hands of Singletary. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Nothing open downfield. They went underneath.
Yeah, see if you can get it to your running back. See if you can make someone miss in the open field.
Counting down toward a minute to go in this football game.
Allen. On a bad time late for a poor throw. It's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. So the ball changing hands on the interception. But meanwhile here, we do have an injury on the play.
We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert.
And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. So they come up on 2nd down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Victory very likely now for the Dolphins as they take a knee here. Down to a knee goes Bridgewater, and that ought to do it. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through, and they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.